It's only prohibited once I've started playing the sounds, really. So, welcome to My Body Studios. Thank you, Tammy, for setting this room up beautifully tonight. Really appreciate it. Thank you. We're going to have a meditation followed by a sound bath. The sound bath will be played on gongs and with singing bowls. The majority of the sound bath will be played using gongs. If there's ever a moment where the gongs get very loud, this will only happen once. And after the loudness, I'll let the sound fade away and we'll have a pause. It's really good just for a bit of an energetic shake up through the sound bath. But like I said, that'll only happen once, okay? You might feel like the sounds from the gongs are very loud at some point. That's because the sounds build up and layer. And so your awareness is picking up on lots of sounds at once, and that gives you the impression that the sound's very loud. But the loud playing that I'm referring to is called a tsunami. It really builds up, you know, when it's coming, right? The sounds will encourage your body to start to drift in waves, brain waves going up and down. Your listening senses merge with the sounds that come from the gongs and the sounds from the instruments in the room. And as they do that, the low and slow frequencies that come out of the sounds will also allow your brain waves to go low and slow. And guess what happens when your brain waves go low and slow? You fall asleep. Now, if anybody snores, okay, it is sort of like not normal, okay, to start off with, it's common, it's very common. But if it's disturbing anybody next to you in the room, do we give permission for the person next to you just to stick their fingers up your nose? What tap on the shoulder? I'm joking about fingers in the nose, by the way. Just to gently tap on the shoulder. Is that alright with everyone?
Yeah.
If that, you know, a gentle purr, you've got to let everyone off with a bit of a purr, right? But if it starts shaking the walls, then you're allowed to give the person next to you a tap on the shoulder. But also remember as well that any sounds coming from outside or inside the room as well, they're also only frequencies. I love sleeping to the sound of somebody snoring. I love it. Honestly. I love when my husband snores, I'm like, this is great. I'm like riding on the frequency of snore. It's brilliant, right?
I need to get on that vibe because that's not what I hear. Mine's like up and up.
But here, just allow any sound to become a frequency, okay, and observe it without judgment. So it might be that you hear some traffic on the road outside. It might be that the radiators click a little bit in the room. It might be that somebody's having a little bit of a cough, or their lungs are relaxing, and so their diaphragm starts to bounce, which makes them cough. You know, it's natural process. Just don't let any of those sounds make you feel like that's it now, I've woke up, it's all over. It's not. You will go back into the realm of this sonic peace and bliss, and it's peacefulness that we're looking for. And peace is a balance of energy. So within us we've got our energy centers, and as we balance our energies, we become in this, we get to this sort of middle way, which is the way of peace. So, if you'd like to lie down or stay seated for the meditation, you're very welcome. You don't have to listen to my voice and follow the words I say.
Neil, I'm just thinking, if it's Anne who's missing, it's Anne who's missing.
Is there a lady called Anne?
She's turned her back.
Let me have a look.
She hasn't messaged me to say she's coming.
No, because she was going to come.
Right, Georgia, Helen. We've got Katie, like a little register. Maria. Marilyn. Yeah. Maureen.
Yes.
Michelle.
Yes.
So yeah, it's Sue.
So, okay. Is the door locked downstairs? Should I go and look it or leave it for her?
I'll just check the Instagram quickly before we switch
Yeah,
off, just to
that's
make sure
good
we've not
to
had a
do.
message. But
Why
I
are you
mean,
stressed?
no, I've got a tickle in my throat, they get it all out before like.
Right.
No, we've not had any messages, so I mean, she might just not be able to make it. I'm pretty sure if she was running late, she'd have.
Well, just be aware that it could be that we've got one person joining us at some point, and if she comes in, I will quickly make her unconscious here and get her into the flow of things, alright? So just maybe someone else is turning up, just bear that in mind. And we'll work with some breathing for our meditation. And we're going to work with breath and the elements. So the elements are the 4 elements of nature: the earth, the water, the fire, and the air. And there are 4 different breath patterns that I'm going to invite you to practice just for a little while, so that you can allow the qualities of these elements just to present themselves to you in your body in this time and space, you see. Being able to observe yourself from 4 different qualities, timeless qualities that exist since time began, the elements. You're able to check in with your energy, check in with your energetic self. So the first breath that I invite you to do is the breath of the earth. This is a very gentle breath. I also invite you to return to this breath during the sound bath at any time you feel like you want to go deeper and relax. The breath of the earth is softly and slowly in through the nose and softly and gently out through the nose. It doesn't have to be a deep breath. Allow the breath to be exactly as it is, but if you can, allow that breath to be in and out through the nose. As you breathe like this, notice the quality of the breath. Notice if the breath is warm or cool. Notice if the breath is deep or shallow. Notice if the breath is faster or slower. And this earth breath brings you into the body. It's a grounding breath. A breath that will remind you of your physical presence here in this room, with these 4 walls, in this body. So as you do the earth breath, recognize the position of your body against the ground beneath you. Recognize the points of contact between your body and the ground. And just take a few breaths to allow your awareness to scan through your body and to recognize the parts of the body where energy is moving easily, or perhaps where your energy is meeting resistance. And allow the breath to be the observer, softly and gently in and out through the nose. allowing your awareness just to recognize how your physical body is and how the physical space is around the body. Knowing that at any point during the sound bath, should emotion arise, should thoughts get too much, should the body present you with any struggles, should your spirit soar, you can bring yourself back to a grounded, physically comfortable and present position by engaging with simple, easy and soft nose breathing. We'll move the element now through to the element of fire. The element of fire is an element which brings energy, which brings heat, an element which combusts and changes fuel into light. Within us is a great fire in our belly. Our solar plexus is the plate of our fire. I invite you now just to become aware of the heat that your body creates. Picture, if you will, a gentle flame, a flame that represents all of the aspects of heat, the passion and the enthusiasm of life, as well as the anger and the rage of life. Joy and happiness burn, so too do rage and anger. And how often in our life we hold ourselves back from expressing the fiery part of our nature. We're going to allow the fire to express itself through breath. The breath of fire is in through the mouth and out through the nose. The pressure that you build up when you breathe out through the nose in the head is like a pressure cooker releasing gas from the heat inside the main body of the pan. The more air you breathe in through the nose, mouth, and the more you breathe out through the nose, the more heat you'll feel generating in this physical body. And I invite you to breathe this way just until you recognize heat and warmth. And when you recognize that heat and warmth, perhaps you can expand the visualization of that single candle flame into a greater candle flame. Perhaps even the light of the sun shining down on you. And if at any point you begin to feel dizzy from this breath practice, you can return to earth breathing and feel the warmth. Accept that you are fire. And to be accepted without judgment. And we'll change our focus now into the breath of water. The breath of water is a breath that allows us to release what lies in the depths of our emotional self. Perhaps there are moments when we've held back on feeling, or moments where we've held back on letting water flow freely. The times when we've held back our tears for ourselves or for others. The times when we've allowed our waters to be held back or to be expressed. Emotion, feeling, mystery, as well as the lunar cycle. The breath of water is in through the nose and out through the mouth. This is the key to allowing waters to flow. And when you breathe in through the nose, I invite you to be aware of the breath, first of all coming into the tummy, and then into the chest, and then into the back, as you allow your ribs to fully expand at the top of the breath, and then letting all of that air flow out through the mouth without holding on to it. Building up by breathing in through the nose, belly, chest and back, and then out through the mouth. Belly, chest and back expanding, and then out through the mouth. It's almost like when a child begins to cry, 3 sniffs in through the nose, and then 1 loud out through the mouth. This is the breath of water, the natural process of allowing energy to flow and move, preparing you to be balanced and rested. With this breath, just know that your energy is moving in the way it should be. There are so many times when we've held back on our feelings. But really, right now, we don't need to know why we held back on the feelings. We just need to let them go. And so as you breathe in through the nose, filling the belly, the chest and the back, you're filling the body with the permission to flow. When you breathe out through the mouth, you're allowing that flow to happen. And so imagine that you're breathing your way through water. You're letting the water flow, simply being either at the edge of a waterfall, and your breath is the motion and the energy that the waterfall uses to flow. Or if you feel comfortable to do so, you can be in the flow of the waterfall. should you wish to rest in the consciousness of water and breathe naturally, then allow yourself to do that. The flow has been created, the breath can be calm and easy as that process plays and moves its way through your body, your mind and your soul. The final breath, the final element of the 4-element cycle is the element of air. This is the element which lifts us. Once we've come from the waters, we are wet and heavy by the waters we've absorbed. By looking into our emotional waters, we've become heavy.